What's up, y'all? Welcome to day 30 of the 30 Day Show. Can you believe it? Yes, it is. It is that. It is day 30 of the 30 Day Show. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me all 30 days. And what was the 30 Day Show? Okay, let's break it down. I went live every day. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. Oh, something happened. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry. Wait. Hold tight. Come on, wait. Instagram, I got y'all. We coming. We coming. Um, there you go. There you go. Come on, Instagram. I got y'all. Come on over it. Wait a minute. Y'all can't see me on the. I need to move. Let me move. There we go. That's better. All right, here we go. Um, thank y'all so much for joining me live every day for the last 30 days on the 30 Day Show. This was just a random idea. Maybe not so random, but strategic idea around what it would look like to go live for 90 minutes a day for 30 days, take those clips, flood the internet as much as I possibly could. And this is what I learned. I'll do a whole post, to be honest. I'll do a whole post just about what I learned. Actually, several different pieces of content about what I learned. Number one, I'm watching all these online gurus go, I love Gary Vee, but I'm watching him go, you need to be posting 500 million times a day. And it's like, actually, bro, I don't know about that. And that's what I learned from this 90 Day Show is that, like, you can go live for every day. Or, I mean, not the going live part, but the posting part. Part of the posting part was me getting the clips to be able to post live. I mean, for me to be able to post 10 clips a day at least and seeing what that looked like. Well, you got to have a team or you got to have some automation behind you because you can't flood 10 posts at once, right? Now, I'm not saying that he's saying you should post 10 posts at once, but I'm also thinking if the algorithm can't take 10 posts at once, how in the world are they posting 100 clips a day? Like, I don't, like, what are they doing to make 100 clips a day work? Well, where the actual mechanisms don't shut you down. Because I highly doubt that they're having, or maybe they do have a full-time person that all they do is sit there and post so many minutes, but like the algorithms aren't moving as fast as people saying they're posted. Now, if you are looking at here's what I'll say. If you're looking at a overtime strategy where, like, okay, if you post 100 clips, you're not looking for each one of those clips to get traction. You're looking for those clips. You're not looking for those clips to get traction on that day. You're taking a long range view of when those clips are going to get traction, because and most of them won't get traction. And I think that's the other thing to remember is that, like, I'm not exactly sure who has time to create enough content to do 40 pieces of content a day without having more of a network. So I just saw this Country Wayne did an interview on million what is it, $1 million worth of game. Yeah, but yes, we made it to 30 days. Ow, thank you, Douglas. Good morning, Maria. And at least 29 of them, Maria was rocking with us. Okay, hello. Um, but uh, what Country Wayne was saying was he's posting about 1,200 pieces of content a month on, like, Facebook. Now, Facebook, I think, is different too, so I will say that. But he's posting about 1,200 pieces of content on Facebook. But what he talks about is he's not doing it all. He's essentially created almost like a TV network. So he has other creators that have their own characters that they're writing for and creating for. So he himself may be doing 3 or 4 characters, but he has other people that work with him that they're also writing for other characters. So in them putting out this many clips a day, it's not just him alone. And I think sometimes when, like, you hear Gary Vee or some of these dudes online talking about it, they're almost talking about it like you could do it too, and it's like, yeah, can you? Because what kind of team does it take to be able to put out 100 clips a day? That doesn't make sense. The algorithm also doesn't know how to handle 100 clips a day, and I think that's the weird thing for me around what these dudes are saying. We did 10 clips a day, and at first we started flooding and putting, like, all 10 clips out at once. And then we got caught up. And then Instagram and people were real people. The posts wouldn't go up on TikTok. Like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, post 10 clips a day, and yeah, it was like, nah. The algorithms was like, wait a minute. Then it actually took Instagram in particular, it took a little while for Instagram to adapt to what we were posting and actually learn what we're posting. Now, one of the things that Gary Vee is saying is he's mainly talking about shorts. Now, on YouTube Shorts, he's not wrong. YouTube Shorts has the power to consume as many clips as you want to give it in as much time frame that you're gonna give it. And my subscribers grew significantly over the course of like posting every day on YouTube like that. And that's actually what inspired me to do this, is because I was doing it with my other show, just lightly. I wasn't posting 10 clips, but I was posting clips from the show we were doing. And I noticed my subscribers were going up, and I was like, oh, this is a way to get subscribers. Maybe not so much watch hours from shorts, because like it's so rapid. You got to get 3 million in order to monetize. But for subscribers, for sure, this worked really, really well. I'm gonna bring up Cameron Calvin, who is my co-host. He was able to be here at least 27 days of the 30, maybe. I don't know. But nonetheless, excited that you could join me for the 30-day show.
Look. I dressed up.
You dressed up, and look, I am at a retreat center, so I dressed it down. I am chilling. It's raining a little bit outside. I'm in the DMV, but I'm like,
Oh, yes, raining.
yeah, I am like all the way zenning out this week. I'm actually on more of a, I'm not on vacation because I'm still working, but at BGV we have what we call light days. So I'm taking this whole week as a group of light moments for me to process, rest up a little bit. I'll still be working, but yeah. So you see him. I got this good old rocking chair. This new retreat center that's launching is called the Seven. I love it out here.
Ooh.
We are.
Where exactly in the DMV?
So well, do
Is
you
it?
still kind of DMV if it's way out in Virginia? But it's like a little bit past Middleburg. So I'm in like
Like an hour, 20 minutes.
yep, hour out, 40 Fort Valley, Virginia. And I mean, like it looks like a picture outside in terms of like, let me see if I can show y'all a little bit. Like it's
Oh,
just a nice little ranch area. I want to show her.
that's like a painting you'll see at a hotel room.
It
Land,
really
land.
is. It's beautiful. And I mean, there's a pond right here. Y'all can see all that. But I'll do some like footage of it later on in the week. If you're following me at Omi Bell, you'll see it on my Insta stories.
Are you hearing echo?
I may be echoing because I don't have my mic as close. So let me see.
No, me.
Oh no, I don't hear echo.
Interesting. Okay,
Do
no
you
worries.
hear? Do you hear me?
At the end of the show,
Kiara just
the
said.
show goes on.
Kiara just said you do have an echo.
All right, I'm gonna take me off.
You know what?
I'm
Maybe it's me. Let's do this. I'm gonna.
no,
mute.
I hear my voice delayed half a second. I'm gonna cut off and come back. Can you hear me? Can
Wait.
everybody?
I can hear you. I'm gonna mute and then see if you still hear it. So let me, like, say something. I'm gonna mute and you say something.
Thank you to everybody who came out. Thank you to everybody who joined us on this journey. And guess what, Omi? I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's because of what I have my mic. Let me pick it up.
Okay.
So, because I had my mic laying down. So if I pick my
Bum,
mic
bum,
up,
bum.
because I don't have a mic stand. Well, no, I have a mic stand, but this mic stand for this mic is not great portability from a portability standpoint.
Oh, I got a little case that because I have that same mic. I got a case that I carry.
Oh,
Now it
wait,
does
I have
weigh
a
about
case with
2-3
cases.
pounds.
Okay, I have a case where the case is like it looks like I'm going to, it's like one of the briefcases that might be on a movie looking thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, mine is a small one.
Okay.
But I put 2 mics, the 2 little stands, and cords in it. But it does weigh something. I actually usually put it on my travel case because it takes up so much physical weight in my. If I'm not flying Delta. Now with Delta, I got 70 pounds.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's
You're
that
top
diamond.
tier.
That's that
Yeah,
diamond
you're top
status.
tier. You're top tier. Speaking of that, first of all, let me say this: if you are looking at, I just saw yesterday, if you're flying anywhere around the country, some of the news is not really depicting what's happening in the airports.
Fake news.
Yeah, I don't want to say that, but some of it is a little bit of fake news. Oh wait, he's echoing again. Okay, let me
Let me
see.
come out and come back in.
Wait, no, it might be. I'm just have to mute when you talk. Okay, I'm gonna mute again.
Oh, that's not gonna work because we get that I already know that.
Maybe let me turn it down because I might have it too far up. Okay, now let's try it.
Let's try it again.
Is that better, y'all?
Yeah.
What can we hear? That's a little better. I don't know because also it's on a delay. So, but I think if I turn my audio down, let us know, Tammy Maria.
Are you watching the stream on another channel?
I'm not. I mean,
Interesting.
I have the what you call this thing?
That's another thing we learned about the 30-day show and going live every day. It's not always gonna go.
It's not, and the equipment pieces and echo. Like, first of all, StreamYard be doing whatever StreamYard be doing. Like, StreamYard has a life of its own, and the way it does a thing, and it's weird. Like, it's strange. I think that's one thing. Like, Cam, every time Cam was here, just about, he got kicked out at least once.
I just be sitting here talking, looking, and then dropped off.
Yeah, at least once a show, Cam's getting kicked out. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, that just was what it was. Okay, I'm gonna put echo cancellation on. Let's see if that. All right, bam. Echo cancellation is on.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it anymore now?
No, I do not.
Maybe that was it. Maybe it was the echo cancellation.
Tammy Francis says, yes, that's better.
Shout out to everybody that followed and watched, though. Like to the morning crew, Larice, Maria, Tiffany, Dr. Kanisha, like NY Della.
Dr. Francis, yes.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for every day.
Hey, Douglas, 3939.
Y'all just as crazy as we are.
Whether you watching it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn is pop. I told you there's so many things I learned from this, and I plan to do a breakdown as well. And I actually you're going to be one of the first guests on the Digital Directors Playbook, and I want to specifically talk about this because I thank you. So much love and respect for you for, I'll just say this again publicly, for not only inviting me on this journey, those several conversations that we had leading into it. And you're like, Cameron, I'm like, well, can I do this? And can we do this? And it's like, I did execution. Let's get there. I did execution. I'm like, all right, let me go. And I put it on my calendar for like 2 days later to look at something. Nope. Next night, it's a whole little, here's the Bible on how we're going to stream this. This was going to happen. Boom, boom, boom. And it taught me a lot about myself. It was the sacrifice, the opportunity. It's only 90 minutes, but because of the time of day it is, like for me, it's 9 to 10:30. That's literally the start of the workday, or kind of the start of the workday, and to say, you know what, no meetings, no other work, you're involved here. I think, again, I missed maybe 4 days at the most for some travel and things that were just unavoidable. And thank you to the audience and Naomi for allowing me grace there. But that idea to execution, shortening that time, so important. 2, the consistency and the consistency of it allowed us to get some core key fans. Did we get 1,000? No, but even get 20 or 30 people who I'm tapping in every day and catching this. Some of the clips, I think what I would learn and what I would take from this is a little more structure on the clips. But I appreciate the consistency and the volume of clips, at least there. My advice there's platforms like Buffer. I've been using Buffer. That's usually one of posters, and that's usually for people who do content posting. That's one of their standards that allows you to automate clips. So
Well,
there's
one thing I
there's
want to
a
say about that
thing there.
is in this experiment, it's all about the investment. Because in this experiment, I wanted to experiment and I wanted the investment to be low so I can try it out. So I also want to share that. But before I get into that, I just want to say shout out to Kiara Nichols, who is my content support person. She's a producer essentially for the show. Like, she's the one doing the clip. So I want to bring her more into a producer role on the next round of 30 Days show. That I do it. But right now, the way we break it down is she goes in, she makes sure all the clips get out. Some of them she does some light edits maybe, but make sure that the best clips get out. And so shout out to her because I could not do this without her. Like, so shout out to Kiara. She and listen. So I put the call out. First, Cam thought I was crazy because I was like, I got $500, okay, and I need somebody to just rock with me right quick. Every day, all they got to do, we're gonna do the recording. StreamYard is gonna clip. All they got to do is post. And Cam was like, "You gonna pay him $500?" I'm like, "That's all I got, bro. They're like, this is what I got. Okay, this is what I'm investing to figure this out." Number one, if anybody works with me, if we rock, you're not gonna work with me just one time. That's period. Across the board, from camera co-hosting to, like, it don't matter. If I work with you one time and we vibe and we're good, I'm trying to get you into every opportunity I have coming up. So that is just how I work. So I knew that this $500, while low, and I admit that openly, if somebody could do it and could rock with me, they're gonna more money to come on the back. I'm like, I got you. Like, you gonna be good. And as soon as, like, whatever I'm doing, like, if something I was doing wasn't making money, when that makes money, you're gonna be the first person I pay. But not only that, I know I got other opportunities in my pocket, like Black Girl Ventures. So we're gonna actually launch a Black Girl Ventures version of this starting in May. So right now I'm looking for the co-host is gonna co-host with me. I don't know who they'll be. If it might be our community manager. If not, we're gonna put out a call for a co-host and see who we can get. And the thing about it is we got a vibe. So I think that the thing about when it came to this, even this role of like who was going to be the content, so things I did on the back end, I don't even know if I was out of Cameron about, but when I was looking for a content support person, I threw it out there to my Omi homies and to my email list. Hey, I'm looking for somebody that could rock with me 30 days live every day, including weekends. All they got to do is go in, post the clips, yada yada. I put the whole nine in the thing. I interviewed probably about 5 to 7 people. And I was interviewing for a few things. One, did I think they could really commit to the time frame? 2, did I think they really had an understanding of content? 3, just personality, how they rocked and how they showed up. 4, I was also looking for was it realistic that this 500, like, meaning that, like, I would want you to be able to supplement your life with something else. And because this is only $500, is all I had. So I had to just make sure that people had a balance of a thing based off of what they're telling me. So I actually interview people to work with me on this. And I was also looking for somebody that I knew I was going to rock with longer term, because I knew this wasn't going to be the only time I do this. I already had a longer range view that, like, this is going to be this one time, but this ain't the last time. This is just this version of it. So the 30-day show has to end because today is day 30. However, this mechanism for going live like this, I'm gonna repeat this multiple times over. So we're gonna repeat it on the BGV side starting May 18th. I'm gonna do body business and belonging. I'm gonna start that one probably right now. I actually wanted, because so many people was like, don't stop going live. So I actually wanted to start it next Monday, but I realized I need a little bit of rest. I'm not gonna start it next Monday. I probably will start it somewhere around the second full week of April. So stay tuned, because another 30-day series is coming. And this next 30-day series, though, we are going to be going into a lot of body business and belonging, doctors, healthcare, maternal health advocates. I'm going to be going into my woo-woo community. So I'm going to bring on I'm going to bring on an Ifa priestess. I'm going to bring on an Oshun priestess.
Can you? I don't even know what those things mean.
Oshun priestess. I'm bringing in a career and business astrologer. I'm bringing in people who do things around happiness. I'm doing things around people who different aspects of spirituality. I'm gonna bring in somebody to talk about psychedelics. So we're gonna talk like we're gonna get into belonging. Like the next 30-day series I'm doing that I'll be hosting will probably be me hosting by myself, but I'm bringing in ways to look at holistic health. Then I'll launch another 30-day series that will be BGV. So I won't be going live on my platforms for the BGV one. I'll be going live on all BGV platforms. So if you're not following Black Girl Ventures, make sure you do that. So all BGV platforms for that one. So my platforms will take a little bit of a break until it'll be May 18th to about June 18th. Then we're doing a live fundraising TikTok telethon on June 18th to raise funds for BGV. And then it'll be time for us to consider coming back with the 30-day show. So depending on where Cameron is in June, what he got going on, we'll reconvene and be like, yo, let's bring it back for the end of the second quarter.
It's a commitment. It's a commitment because I will say this: if you're gonna do 30 days, not just both for you and for others, I would not suggest doing it a quick 30 days unless you have ability to control some of your schedule that far out. Like when you finally tapped in, there was like, hey, I already had a plane ticket booked during one of those period of times, and I like to. I prefer to fly in the morning. And so I had to, luckily this was the nice little sweet spot, a pocket of time. I'm not traveling. I got to go to Syracuse, Indiana, back to DC, then hitting Ghana for a week, back to DC, Atlanta, Chicago. Then I'm back on my Cameron San Diego tip. But this was the right this just happened to be the right pocket of time. It's like, oh, I think maybe the second or third day I had a flight, but I think I in between I might have flown one time, but I just scheduled around to make sure I did it in the evening. In addition to that, don't underestimate, and I don't underestimate as a person who leads a podcast, and you lead a radio show, so I think you are so tuned in on what it takes to talk and engage and consistently talk and engage, be interesting, really know the audience, have something to take. Don't be necessarily repeating and rambling. But if you are planning to do this for the audience, understand I would do some also prep work on topics and your thoughts. Don't just put a topic in a bullet line. Put a few thoughts down. So something that if you read it, you could even just read it out loud and it sparks internal conversation. And then my last thing that I learned, have a partner. Like us doing this back and forth, so much easier. Maybe also because I just need to say all my thoughts and everything I say. Like I'm not that kind of person where that's been one of my difficult struggles of like just going live, is that if I'm not reading something, I have ideas. I can easily talk, talk too much sometimes here on the show. You always reel it in. But for a show to be entertaining, engaging, educational, insightful, and usually if you're talking for any significant amount of time, that's also opinionated. That's actually not how I choose to show up online in that sense, and how I choose to show up in my show, even how I've structured it, politics. I do have obviously thoughts and political ideas, but I like to interview people because I like to maybe drop in over the course of, if you watch a whole season, you'll get to understand who I am. But my goal is to platform and pull out questions and information from those I am in conversation with. And I think having you as a partner on this show, plus the guests, allowed it to never get stale.
Yeah.
Never get stale. Because even if we just were talking every day, I think we can talk every day. But even then, it almost still, I won't say it would have gotten stale, but it would have gotten, it's like just what's our opinions and so forth. It's a ratcheted down version of a radio show because we don't have all that pre-production. But what I do appreciate is the interjection of new energy 2 to 3 times every show. learning something new, reacting to something new, having conversation three-way, and then us jumping back into whatever we want to talk to. And I think that was the right mix, right time. So there's a lot of things I want to pull out from this, but those are some my top thoughts.
Thank you for saying that, because in my inspiration to contact you, I knew that I needed somebody that we could just talk. You know what I mean? In the sense that, like, even in us, like, we would do when we were hosting on SiriusXM, we would try to do show prep, but we end up like talking through everything that we might talk about. And I think the energy of that was feeling like, what I noticed about the energy of us doing that was, oh, we actually don't necessarily need to show prep, because whatever we're going to end up talking about feels like it concludes after we talked about it. So even though we were like, so trying to even
we did that for like a month. We did that for a month. The month because I told you, I was like, I want to show up. I got this opportunity. Can we do? What do I need to study? What do I need to read? And so we would have a 30 or 45-minute call Monday evening before Tuesday. I think we might have, and that lasted maybe 4-ish weeks. I think one topic out of one of those conversations made it to air, because we would have the whole, have the on-air conversation.
It'd be like, well, we talked about it now, so like, why would we go back and talk about it? And I think knowing that, I was like, oh, this is the perfect matchup, because we don't agree. Like, there's these, and I think that, like, you don't want to have a co-host that always agrees with everything you say. This is where, like, I think it's challenging on some podcasts for the women's voice inside of the men's commentary, like trying to match it up where, like, the women have a really defined voice sometimes when there's other male commentators on, is because they end up in this fodder between them that feels very much like a bro moment. And then somehow
they trying to interject themselves.
Yeah, she's trying to get in there, and maybe they don't have the same relationship or something. So, or, it doesn't feel seamless. And then oftentimes what I find on some of those male-led podcasts or shows is that the woman it looks more like a prop than it is like a true and these women are brilliant. There's not that they're not brilliant. There's something around having them actually be included and not as just like an extra person on camera in the conversation. It's like, I love watching Cam and Cameron and Mace, but like, they just have such a gel because they've been friends for so long that it's hard for the woman to like really have a real presence. It's like they'll kick it over to her.
But she has a point there of like, they modeled their show somewhat after Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, or after Stephen A. Smith and his former co-partners there, because she has set the table. Here's what I have to say. Ask me my one poignant question after we've gone back and forth. Her goal and her role in the show is not to get in the way, because she's grown into a star and she's great at the hosting thing specifically and some stats and so forth for her age and space. But that's good executive production on Cam, Mace, or whoever their producers are, is they know what the show is. The show is these almost 50 or late 40, 50-year-old rap superstars who are unvarnished and unfiltered, talking about sports in a way, in a language that she's almost too sophisticated, even though she might be damn near half their age. Her education level and stuff, like, if she was just consistently talking, it wouldn't even mesh with like how Cam and Mace talk. Like, they're smart guys clearly, but they're like, hey, my incorrect grammar English, like my street slang, but with a little bit of elevation and real insight. Like, the sound, feel, and look is those two. And so,
and I'm saying that I love that take on it. I'm saying that when I'm watching as a woman, so I get that from you watching like from a male point of view, like, and don't get me wrong, I get it from a marketing standpoint, right? Like, they're the superstars, right? We know them, and now we're getting to know them as this, right? She may be known somewhere, so I don't want to put any shade on her. But like I don't know her. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
she
I don't.
literally just graduated from college. She was graduating from the University of Miami as the show started 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I'm saying it to say from a familiarity standpoint, whatever we quote know, we know the life and experience of, and I don't mean like we know them deeply, but we know what we've seen in the news and through their music, and we have a kinship with them already. So I'm saying it's hard to plant a person that wasn't around during their era to deeply or deeply maybe embedded in hip hop in a certain way. It goes back to the criticism that some people are saying about a dude who interviewed Jay-Z. But this dude, it has the literal chops. Like this dude has the chops. He been around. He knows the music. You know what I mean? And people still was like, "But why didn't let him interview him?" Like, what? And it's like, yo, no, this dude probably is. If you think about it generationally, he's the best person. Like,
He in his mid
I'm
30s.
glad.
He's a
No shade to
journalist.
Speedy, but
You
Speedy
done
wouldn't have
with
gave me
Speedy?
what I wanted from Jay Z if Jay Z would have went to Complex. Speedy's not sophisticated enough to, in my opinion. Again, no shade to Speedy because I think I don't think he's bad and I enjoy him and I think he's great. But I'm just saying that
You go to Speedy for a Speedy thing.
there
I
you
like what
go.
I
That's
like.
it.
I
And it
like what
was
old
and
boy.
the platform that Jay Z would have been on, which was GQ. So I think like that's really interesting in that sense. But I'm often watching these shows where they know they need to include a women's perspective, but they actually don't include a women's perspective. They include a
Oh,
woman.
they include a
They're like
woman
the woman
because
is
it's under.
there.
It's because
Her perspective is not.
it's when I think about building a show, it's like I want a woman co-host, not both for demographics and different mindset of like what the conversation is going to bring. I think it's tried and true, and what it signals to the audience, and what type of woman. I have a very specific like a few demographic markers of what I had measured out the digital director's playbook, what I want that to eventually be. It may not start that way, but I have a very hyper clear vision on like there's actually a person we had a conversation. Shout out to Avery. We had a conversation, but she's a Gen Z white woman from the South, but she is elevated, and she used to be an intern at my old firm twice. Amazing intern years ago, but she elevated eventually to the White House too. She was on the second half of the digital firm. She didn't have the same role I did, but she's seen it to that level, and now is again still Gen Z, still in her mid late 20s. And when we had a conversation, I was like, all right, I wasn't ready to launch the show then because I didn't have all these other pieces in place. But now I'm hyper clear on like she's my get. So I'm even putting it out in the universe. Avery, I want you to co-host Digital Directors Playbook because I'm genuinely interested, and we're friendly. It's not like close friend or anything, but we're friendly and professionally friendly. But I'm genuinely interested in her mind and perspective on the overall digital landscape and who we may have on the show because she's done it at a high level in a quick time, but she's coming from a few different buckets, and I want to see how it works out. It might not work, but that's
Now the
as a
difference.
producer,
Do you
you
watch
know
the
what I
Joe
mean?
Button podcast?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
So
a every week. But
I'm
I'm a
not
regular.
every week either, and I'm not a Patreon subscriber, so I'm mainly watching clips. But the difference between definitely a difference between Mona being there and Melissa Ford being there.
Oh, for sure. But that's their their energies are completely different. Their levels of sophistication are completely different. Their voice tone and tenor is different. So they even sometimes I experience Joe Budden podcast as an audio, usually driving or walking through airports and stuff like that. There's what's some pods that I like, and I'll download. And I never get through all of them, very rarely, but I just like 20 minutes of content in my head. But I like her. I liked her. I watched a little bit of her breakbeat. But the thing about that, where I'm at in my life, I need some sophistication injection into everything that I'm doing. Like Cameron and Mace may be all that I can take of unsophistication.
That's
Cause and I'm
real.
That might
Yes,
be
so
all I
it
can say, because
really
I feel like
becomes
I'm
about.
dumbing down. My vocabulary. It's good to know some new vocabulary, but my vocabulary is like, dude, I gotta switch out of that. Like I can still be me, but part of what me is a verbose and like dynamic vocabulary. Not like that's part of what I've been doing my entire life, and I recognize dumbing down. You know what helps with that? Reading physical books.
No, 1000%. There are times when like I'm like I feel like I'm losing words. You know, like why can't I draw back to the word because I forgot. Yeah, like where there's a word that goes with this. This is a very good word. You know what I
And
mean?
I know it. And I know it.
And I know that word. Where did that word go? And so that's so interesting around like what's happening to us, like with the evolution of the internet and things like that, and like even like what's going to continue to happen with AI, and then creating a world where you don't need to be as smart is the stranger part to me, right? Like, so there's one thing that's like, oh wow, people are not being as smart, and then everything started being like, oh, you actually don't need to know as many words in like that idea. Like, I'm not saying that's 100% true, but I'm saying like the idea that oh well, we need to create a world where people don't need all these words. Can there be a balance? Like, can there be a like? We need to have all the, we need to challenge people on bringing their vocabulary up, and we need to sort of figure out what the middle, like, it almost like we need to start creating more words that meet the middle. And so, like, where this one word may have been too high of a word, but then another word way of referring to maybe too quote low of a word. What's a new middle word that can be? That could be you.
I think you lost me there.
What I mean is like, okay, give me a word.
No, I know what you mean. I'm saying
Oh,
I think you lost me in like on the agreement phase of this. It's like I think there is language and communication always evolves. It just does. Like we're not taught. Think about the Bridgerton era. Think about slavery era. Think about the 400, 500 years ago and other places like that. The tone, tenor, language, all that stuff evolves. How we communicate evolves. I think as we are moved into such more of a nonverbal communication with text, or there's some barrier, it's not us talking to, even if I talk to you on the phone, it is through the digital barrier of a phone and phone line, even to hear that online, all the different places. I hear you on the middle words. I prefer personally, I would love to hold on to as much of the English language, not English language. I'd love to hold on to as much as we can with as many words as we can, and I'd rather raise people up to words than us reduce the amount of words we're using.
the thing is, I like that. I don't know from a time and scale perspective that we are invested in putting the level of mechanisms in place to bringing people up to a certain level of
Oh, we're
vocabulary. It's
not.
like we are not, as a country, invested in that at all. It's like, in
No,
fact, the country feels like it's invested in dumbing people down, or a select group of people down, so that we don't have to bring people up to certain places.
I mean, yeah, that's if we want to talk about it, that's
Yeah,
really that's what's been going on. Hey, how do I keep
absolutely.
y'all docile and working so I don't have you free thinking and realizing how messed up everything is out here. But as I digress,
Yes,
shout
that
out
part.
to the No King, shout out to the No Kings protest this week.
Yes, absolutely. So you talked about it a little bit yesterday, right?
I talked a lot about it. Yeah, it was the feeling, the energy. I loved your idea on like expanding on the content, and so I need to put some time in tonight after I get through some work there to expand on it. I might pull again that, and I think this 30-day show breakdown is going to be helpful. But I am all in on uh, a new business line that we are wrapping our minds around. That's going to take a lot of energy over the next 2 weeks, and my preparation for Ghana. Like I'm taking that hyper seriously. Uh, it's not a vacation; it's a working trip. Obviously, I'll have fun and enjoy, but I've got essentially 3 real days because I get there Tuesday evening. So I got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The conference is Saturday and Sunday, and I'm leaving Sunday night to get back to another conference in DC that we're being paid to do work at. So I got 3 days, and one of my sisters from the communication, we came up on Capitol Hill. I totally forgot Audra was half there. Her and her husband, her kids are now half in Ghana, half in DC. We had a hour-long conversation. She was like, boom, set this up, relationship. I'm already got this going. I was like,
and if it's the same Audra I'm thinking of, she's
no, you think about a different Audra. You probably think about Audra, Delta Audra.
The one that Delta, I think she is a Delta. She worked with Kenny McDuffie.
No, yes, not that one. Not that one. Okay. But I know that Audra too. That's my homegirl too. They're both Audras. That's also my homegirl too. We literally worked on the campaign and the administration together. But this other Audra Adolfo, dynamic communicator, done business together back in the day when I first.
Is she from Ghana?
She is from Ghana. She is Ghanaian.
Her last name is Adolfo. Is her brother? I mean, Adolfo.
I don't know her brother. I wouldn't know. I've never met. I've only met her. I met her mom once. That's about it. I met her husband, obviously.
Is her dad a politician in Ghana?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. But all I should say is
she unlocked. I might not have
she unlocked in me and just in our like 30, 45-minute conversation because somebody else had to remind me to hit. Is your network ever so big that you like you clearly have the right person? It's not even like a distant person. There's someone in your network you have that 1,000%. Can help you right there, and you just not making the connection.
Yeah, I wrote a book on networking, by the way. So if you want to get that book, it is Originate, Motivate, Innovate, 7 Steps for Building a $1 billion network. And your network is like a linen closet. You didn't know you had that one set of sheets or that one, like, I've been looking for this blanket until somebody came over and you had to go look into it. So yeah, a lot of times everything we need is somewhere within 6 degrees, and now with the internet within 3 degrees for real. And we just don't realize it all the time. So no, 100%. Well, I'm excited for you to go. I'm excited for what you're going to come back with, and as you're thinking about this new line of business, I want to talk about the No Kings rally for a second. First, today is Monday, March 30th. So 30 days of the 30-day show also means it's March 30th because we started on March 1st. And it's a happy birthday to Tracy Chapman and supermodel Naomi Sims. Also on this day in 1988, Toni Morrison won the Pulitzer Prize for her novel Beloved. And as we wrap up, today's March 30th, tomorrow's March 31st. As we wrap up, this is also the end of Women's History Month. So shout out to that. Some takeaways from the No Kings rally that have been reported on. This comes from the New York Times. Mm-hmm. Takeaways from the New York Kings rallies as the midterms heat up. Thousands of demonstrations against the Trump administration unfolded across the country on Saturday, the third round in a nationwide series of loosely coordinated No Kings rallies. The day of protest, the first since October, came as the midterm election season takes shape and as Democrats work to capitalize politically on the unpopular war in Iran. Exactly a month earlier, President Trump ordered the U.S. strikes against Iran, setting off a conflict that has sent gasoline prices soaring and routed Republicans. The war was a central animating force in the Saturday rallies, which were attended by roughly 8 million people, according to the No Kings organizers. Through their estimates, in some cities were higher than those of local public safety officials. But the fighting in the Middle East was hardly the only issue on the minds of frustrated Democrats. Here are 5 takeaways. The war seemed to galvanize younger voters. Many protesters say the war had brought them out on Saturday, and at least in some places, the conflict appeared to be motivating younger people. One large rally held across the street from the University of Iowa, where the youth outreach group Voters of Tomorrow signed students up to join its organizing efforts. The quote, it says, quote, "Our generation has grown up with this idea of endless war in the Middle East, end quote, a 22-year-old organizer said. And the idea of getting into a yet another is something that people are rightfully really angry about. Point number 2, Trump's immigration crackdown remains a focus. Even the war in Iran dominating the national conversation, opposition to Mr. Trump's, that's interesting they put that, Mr. Trump's immigration crackdown and immigration and customs enforcement remained a rallying cry on Saturday. The sprawling flagship No Kings protest held in Minnesota, where 2 U.S. citizens were killed by federal agents this winter as part of unrest of the Trump administration's immigration operation there. Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota and Senator Bernie Sanders, the progressive Vermont Independent, spoke at the protest, which was held at the state capitol building in St. Paul. Bruce Springsteen sang a song about the 2 citizens who had died. Point number 3, dueling protests unfolded near Mar-a-Lago. Takeaway number 3. Dueling protests unfolded near Mar-a-Lago. Thousands of protesters gathered on a grassy public space by a Target, about a 15-minute drive from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach County, Florida. The crowd included Emily Gregory, a Democrat and first-time candidate who won an upset victory in the past week in the Florida state legislative race to represent their area. But counter-protests gathered to stand up for President Trump. They unfurled a large pro-Trump flag, and 2 sides chanted at each other. The White House itself had mocked the nationwide protest. Abigail Jackson, a spokeswoman, said on Thursday that the, quote, only people who care about these Trump derangement therapy sessions are the reporters who are paid to cover them. Another takeaway, midterm candidates came out in force from Southern California to the frigid northern reaches of New England. Democratic candidates in the midterm elections took to the streets to vent with voters about the Trump administration. Governor Janet Mills of Maine, a Democrat who is running for Senate in one of this year's most watched races, attended 3 No Kings protests in and around Portland, the state's largest city and a Democrat stronghold. Her Democratic rival, Graham Plattner, an oyster farmer running as a political outsider, spoke at a protest in Aroostook County, in the state's northernmost county, where Trump won by 26 points in 2024. You got multiple in Michigan, Mallory McMorrow, Representative Haley Stevens, Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts, Representative Seth Moulton, and attended a rally near Boston. Pete Buttigieg, former transportation secretary and 2020 presidential candidate, attended a rally in Traverse City, Michigan. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, who also ran in 2020, joined a protest in St. Louis. Last takeaway noted, this is a New York Times article. Democrats found fresh fuel for their No King slogan. 2 days before the protest, the Treasury Department said that it would begin printing dollars with Donald Trump's signature on them, at first for a sitting U.S. president. The move continued a trend for Trump, whose allies have sought to put his name on the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts and the U.S. Institute of Peace, among other institutions and landmarks. The efforts have enraged many of his critics, who cast him as an aspiring monarch. In a nod to the protest, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, the chair of Senate Democrats' campaign arm, said on Saturday that she planned to introduce a bill to bar presidents from putting their name, likeness, or signature on federal property or money. That's interesting that that's never happened before.
I think it's for sitting
never
president.
barred.
I think that's the greatest learning and lesson from President Trump's both his campaigns, but specifically this 450 days or whatever we are into his presidency now, is he is showing he's a person who dumped a ton of water into a big old bucket and lets you show how many holes it really has, because he is testing things. Your camera's off on the small one. He's testing so many things and trying so many things at the like spaghetti at the wall
My
and watching
camera's
what,
off.
as in like you're in the
Oh,
in a,
sorry, I was off camera. Got it. Sorry.
but I I don't want to use the word appreciate because I don't find it praise, and I think there's other ways we could have learned these things that would have been less harmful to so many millions of people, not just in this country but around the world. But what he is doing is hyper pressure, where he's pressure testing democracy.
Yeah.
President Trump is pressure testing democracy, and he's pressure testing our Constitution. He's pressure testing every system and supposed check and balance that we had, because we have grown up in any civics. I mean, when you start civics in third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, whenever it is, this idea of three branches of government, checks and balances, was so critical and integral to the founding of the country and the overall framework. And what I am fearful but remain hopeful, because it's on us as people to insert and push our leaders to make sure this happens, is that we can ever pull some of this back, see what happened, be very wide-eyed and clear-eyed about it, and move with the exact swift and speed to fix as many of these things as we can. Even if we don't get a perfect fix, to try to get a more than a band-aid, at least put a plug in. You know what I mean? At least put a plug in that hole, because we might have 2 years, a year and a half, if we get control of the House and Senate. House, if we get only one, if Democrats only get House or Senate, all it can do is either do investigations and block stuff. Things still won't move. If we get both in, there might be some deal making at the top with the president, but it won't likely be there. It'll then need to kind of have all three. We've almost moved into a system where you need all three branches of government to really move at least an agenda, even if you don't like it, because we've seen when the Republicans just had the Senate. That happened under Biden at one point. That happened under Obama at one point. And their thing is just block, deny. So even if you want to do deal making, they're not going to really in earnest deal make for the betterment of the people. They are just trying to get to the next election. So they're going to try to torpedo you. And we've just moved into that, whereas I think it's not about us anymore. It's all about winning the next election.
I mean, first, yeah. I think this is what makes me so frustrated with the Democrats though sometimes. So okay, so wait, let me go into the pressure testing part. On the pressure testing part, I think you're right. This is what if it's a loophole there, we're gonna be looping in it. That is, this administration is if there is a loophole to be exploited, we are going to find it and we're going to operate in it. Nobody didn't tell me I couldn't. You can't do that. It's not written that I couldn't. So,
and if it is, let's send that up to the courts and see if they reinterpret it.
Exactly. If it is, it didn't really mean don't do it.
Do it.
You know what I mean? It's you didn't really mean not run
you looking
the red
at
light.
explicit laws
not run the red light if X, Y, Z things are present. And I'm determining that these other things are not present. So run the red. What's funny about that? This one time I met this woman, high net worth individual, introduced me to another high net worth individual. And I go to meet with her because at this time I'm raising money for BGB. And so we're talking, I'm at her house in Baltimore, and we're talking, and she's like, yeah, let's go over. I want to show you this other spot. Let's go to this spot. So I'm like, bet, well, you drive, because I had a rental car. I came from out of town somewhere. I'm like, but I have, you drive and we're road. She said, oh, cool. I'll drive. She gets in the driver's seat. She says, hey, I just want to let you know, I don't follow traffic rules. What?
Hey, just to let you know, I'm getting out.
I said, what? She's like, yeah, but it's fine. I never have accidents. When I tell you, we didn't stop at a red light unless we had to.
Hold up. Is this the high net worth
sign unless we had to?
This is the high net worth individual that says
yes.
Like 10 million up?
Yes. Maybe more, but I'm just saying. It was she and I mean,
she
I
didn't
was
stop
like
at red lights.
Hmm.
She didn't stop at red lights.
No. Unless like to her point, she's like, like I have caution, but like this red light don't mean I gotta stop.
Is she
Right?
black?
No. Another high net worth individual, definitely 20 million or more, probably. I don't want to say all that. I don't want to put no. She's definitely way up there. Let me say that. I went to a restaurant with her. She doesn't even remember saying this to me. I brought this back to her years later. I'm like, you said this, and it always stuck with me, and I never forgot it. So we're at the table, we're at the restaurant, and she's like asking questions of the waiter. Hey, what about this? Does this have this? How does this? Boo 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 boo. Right. And then after the waiter left, she looked at me and she said, menus or suggestions. And I was like, actually, yeah. But like it goes back to like people will alter a particular kind of food, but don't think, hey, I could just make up my own food based off of food I know you have available. Right. So like you got eggs, you got this, you got that. In fact, I know y'all don't have this on the menu. Make me this. You know what I mean? Like I was like, you live a life where now one, I would say that it caused me to think of what I'm not asking for. It caused me to think of what I'm following that somebody told me to follow. And I'm not advising that people go out there running red lights. But I'm just saying that like these perspectives have caused me to think bigger about what somebody's saying you can do, what somebody's saying you can't do, and what the risk is. I had a former CFO who he said, look, just because something is risky, it doesn't mean you don't do it. You just have to calculate what the risk is. If it's minimal risk and it's high impact for you, do it. You know, like you should consider doing that thing. And I'm like, actually, when some of the decisions that we had to make around, it was just simple things, though, nothing major, nothing that would get us like sued in court. You know what I mean? Like nothing like that, but things that we were like, should we do it this way? Should we? He's like, look, the tax implications on this is gonna be this. That is minimal according to this other decision we're about to make. And I think that when you are moving in different, and I mean, he wasn't high net worth, but I'm just saying like he himself was a high net worth, but his wife and the family he married into was a higher net worth family. So things he saw, when you get purview into these different realms of how people are living, you'd be like, oh, everything I thought had to be a way. Actually, I don't even know if it got to be that way. And while I think levels of money get you into spaces that showcase that and your life changes, it's not even about you having to have that amount of money to be able to maintain that thought. But however, sometimes it is because what risk can you afford? That's the other thing. Like,
What risk can you afford? That is what businesses are doing. Risk mitigation, risk analysis. What risk can I afford? If I got $1 billion in the maximum thing, the maximum punishment here is $500,000 in fines and some inconvenience, I can afford this risk. If I'm down to my last $17 in my bank account and I want to like, bet it all on black, I can't afford that risk.
Can't afford that risk.
Actually, you probably can't afford that risk because $0 and $17 is the same thing.
Basically. And
so I think probably should go
risk. What was interesting about money management is that what I found that I had to grow out of is if I know how to manage a small amount of money so well, I'm not in fear of having a small amount of money. So the risk that I was taking at that time may have been with that mindset of,
yes,
I can make $100 work. So let me just go ahead.
So let me just bet it on, and we can't do that. No. That's how I lived for very long time, and it's dangerous. One of my business partners, she always says, Cameron, until you lose money on stuff, that's really when you start learning the lessons. We will hear, you will write the lessons. You might even say it and say, I've learned this lesson. Then I watch you go do it again. But when you lose money, she's like, that's when it clicks. Oh, do something different. And I think it was that mindset, because it's like, bro, I've been homeless before. I've had nothing. I had
So this
nothing
little bit
for
of
a
money
long
is
period
great.
of time. Exactly. And it's like, nah, don't still have the $100. All you got is $50 to make stretch for a week mentality with this. And that's why whenever you hear financial advisors or people talk about wealth accumulation, it's always lifestyle creep.
Oh my goodness. That's how like people who net worth might be off the charts ain't got no money. You know what I mean? Like they may not
Or
have any
even if it's
liquid.
not their net worth, people who are high earners, you're like, dude, I got it coming in. I'm making 10 million a year, 5 million a year. I'm making, I'll tell you right now, I can publicly admit this. The first year I made $200,000, I was still, not even counting my school debt, I still ended that year $15,000 in debt and credit cards, and like maybe a couple grand for my last paycheck in my account. I made $200,000 pre-tax money that year, because I just like, well, I got it. It's coming in every 2 weeks, and I got a little hustle here, hustle there, whatever. Like I had to
Yeah,
reshift my mind.
yeah. No, it's so real. It's so real. And I feel like, I feel like there's some months. Well, I'm still working through it. I feel like there's some months where I'm still like, should I just like, should I just go over here or should I go over there? Like, should I just do this thing and it'll be fine? What I've also learned about money is that if you have an extra $5,000 a month, you're killing it. Like, honestly, like, I know everybody's gunning toward making $1 million and $1 trillion, but it's like, figure out what works for you. If you have a lifestyle where you can have an extra $5,000 a month, which
And
is
by extra, you mean
60,000.
everything is met.
Yeah,
Everything
all
is
your
met.
bills are paid, all
your investments, savings, and then there's $5,000 on
and then
top of
there's
that.
$5,000. That's $60,000 a year outside of your life and whatever bills you pay regularly. If you could do that, you're living a decent life. I mean, like, you're living a really good life. If you can do that, that's a really good life. Like that, I'm like, oh, after I learned that, I was like, oh, because there's really no large purchase that you're making that on a regular basis. Now, if you're going to like just buying a piece of art, even some pieces of art, you could do 5,000. But I'm saying, like, even if they're, unless you like, maybe you're taking a massive trip, and even in that, 5 to 10,000,
you don't even have to call it
good. And that's what, like,
the point is you have the 5,000 every month, so it gives you the freedom to insert something. It gives you the freedom. Hey, I don't even need to use the 5,000. I can put that back in investment savings. It gives you the freedom to. A lot of people, a lot of friends and family got $100 and $1,000, $2,000, $500, $1,500 problems. It gives you the freedom to be able to comfortably help other people. It gives you the freedom to, like, add guacamole. I got it. You know what I mean? Add that guacamole.
Right. Like, no, I think, no, absolutely. So I think that if you're, as you think about money out there, because I think, just think about this. Calculate whatever it is that you need to earn for everything that you want to be paying monthly. Okay. Make that, basics plus whatever other credit card bills you got to pay off, whatever student loans you include in that, tax debt, whatever. Add all that up into like major bills needed to be paid, right? First know what that number is. And then add $5,000 a month to that and let that be your goal. And I can almost assure you that you can live a very, very, very good life. That because it's with certain luxuries and all that, because you're not gonna spend that 5,000 every month. Like like you said, some of those months you might spend.
You shouldn't spend that $5,000.
If you can help it, don't spend the $5,000 every month. But if you're looking for new contracts, because sometimes people have like, they just need maybe they can take care of their basics with their paycheck, whatever they're doing with their job. and then they're starting their business on the side, and so their first goal is like to leave their job. But maybe your first goal is to get to $60,000 annually, right? And then you're paying it. Then your next goal is to start creeping up on what that means to like lower your debt. Like when I started my print shop, I cut everything. My kids, this is before we had like on demand platforms as open as we do now. But like we didn't have, all we had was internet. We didn't have we was not watching, there was no cable. I cut all that, renegotiated to have like a consistent light bill, renegotiated to have like to get my car insurance down. I went like renegotiated everything. Even to this day, I don't have a lot of bills. Now my credit card debt has gone up since I earn more money now, but I didn't have any credit cards for real. Not really. I had one like low secured credit card back then. But I started, the first thing I did in after getting laid off was renegotiate every bill I could to the lowest dollar amount, or to something that was like, hey, I just got laid off, I don't have it, I need you to give me some month break. Like, what are the options? Like sometimes you like just go ask them, because they don't advertise all the options you got. Sometimes you have options that they don't tell you. And guess what? If the person you're talking to be like, oh, I don't think we can do it, hang up and call back and get another rep. Okay. I've done that plenty of times. The rep that I'm talking to will be like, oh no, we can't. I don't think there's anything that we can do about it. And I'm like, okay, great, thank you. Hang up, call right back and get another rep and be like, look, I need some help. I need to negotiate, whatever. Like, don't be afraid to do those things. And again, as many times you need to call back and figure it out, do it. Like, because it's about advocating for yourself. Is not just when something's like wrong and you speak up. It's when things are like right and you speak up, because you're advocating for whatever those things are that you need to figure out how you're going to live your life with the most happiness, with the most abundance, with the most peace that you can possibly have, and figuring out what that means on a daily basis. All right, so Lord, when does the
do we have a guest today? No,
we don't have a guest today. Because, okay, so we don't have a guest today for a couple reasons. One, because my entire calendar is blocked for this week because I'm at this retreat center. And so when my calendar is blocked, you can't book.
You couldn't do it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Calendar.
Yeah. So we rocking.
You know, Black Man.
I wish there was a way, like, for people who are in the audience, if you were a guest before and you want to come in now, just go back to your calendar invite and click the link to join us on the stream right now. So we're welcome back. Anybody that's been a guest before, if you were on the show at one point, go back to your calendar invite. If you're watching and you listen to us right now, we got about 20 more minutes in the show. Y'all can all come back if you want to. Lita, Maria. I think I saw Dr. Kanisha on here at one point. I don't know if I see her. Yeah, because you already had the invite, you already had a link that you can come back. But it's harder. The StreamYard link is not cool. Like, it's not like a easy link. So me trying to get you back in here now might not work if you haven't been here before. But get ready. Not get ready, but if you would like to and you're watching right now, find your calendar invite that had the 30-day show on it. Click that StreamYard link. You can definitely come join us right now as we Oh,
you're trying to bring people up for like a last thank you or something?
If they just want to join, say thank you, say how the show impacted them. What do they got coming up? We only got like 20 minutes left anyway.
I gotta put a suit on for you, Aubrey.
Oh, look at that.
No, you know what? You know why I logged on literally at 9:00? I'm embarrassed to say this. It took me like 10 minutes to do a tie. I could tie a tie in my sleep, like with one hand before. I went to Catholic.
It was hard for you to get up?
No, hard for me to tie this. I just legitimately have not worn a tie. I don't know when. I don't know when's the last time. I think the last time I wore a tie, because even it had to have been when I wore a tuxedo. But then I've been heavy on bow ties. And I use clip-on.
Oh yeah, and you said you were doing the turtlenecks.
turtlenecks, or I was doing collarless. Like I got rid of, and I got at least 100 ties. I was tie heavy. I used to love
I was judging you a little bit this morning. A
by
little bit. You know
time
why?
wise or
No,
my
not about
time
your
wise.
ties. Your ties look great.
No,
Not
about
about
my
that.
time.
Oh yeah, about your time because because I'm on East Coast time right now. So I got up at 7. I was like, yo, this is so dope to be able to do this at 9 a.m. I'm like, I don't know why Cameron be acting like 9 a.m. is so early.
No, I don't act that it's early. I get up hours before this. It's the injection of it. This is why on the radio show I appreciated it, because it forced me to get up very early, like in the 6 a.m. hour, and it forced me, and it kickstarted my brain. So when it's over, that 3 hours is tiring. So it's like this 90
Well,
minutes is a perfect amount of time to kickstart my brain. It's just like plopping this in right at 9 o'clock, because sometimes I get my work started and I can get to a computer by 7:30. Sometimes it's normally around 8:15, 8:30 is when I'm like, oh, I'm into my emails, into reviewing stuff, like I'm into it. And it's like, stop, do this, all attention focused. So it's less about that. This morning I got up 6. I didn't get a workout in, but I did get a stretch in, yoga, finished washing some clothes. And then I went to go make some content over at the US. I'm right by the US Capitol and the Supreme Court. And I wanted those as backdrops for content on my announcements for the Africa Real Estate Festival. I'm going to be leading a VIP training for those core VIPs and their actual investors and partners on digital engagement and marketing, international digital engagement and marketing for real estate companies and properties. And so he wanted me to just do some direct to those VIP trainings. And I was like, let me throw the US Capitol in the background of that. And then I had like 2 other scripts I just read. So I was doing that. And then I came back over here. I was here at 9:45, and then I just kept this tie. This don't even look as good as I know a tie can look. But when I say, I was like, how did I just forget? I didn't YouTube it, but I was about to, like, Cameron, you know how to tie a tie. Very well.
no, I'm definitely YouTubing it.
But I just could not. It was like 10 minutes later, and it's just frustration. I like my ties like robust and like all those things. Like I like them like that, and the math wasn't math.
Great. Thank you for dressing up. I was not gonna dress up. I was like, I don't even think I have dress up clothes with me.
It's all good.
No, I don't know if you're clicking on the wrong thing, Lita, because Maria just got here, so it must work. I don't know if you're clicking on I don't know what you might. I don't know which thing you're clicking on, Lita. If you go into the actual calendar invite and it should say StreamYard.com / bunch of different letters, that link is always like it is a show. It is the studio link, so it doesn't expire. It's the way Cam gets in too, so it doesn't expire. Okay, let's let Maria up. Maria, you was joining us every day, girl.
Listen, I just want to tell y'all had a great show, and I can't wait to see what you all are gonna do next. For both Cam and for Omi, it has been. I learned how to say your name properly, so that was great.
Ami. I was like, I love that little
I
twang.
listen.
Like,
I
what up,
learned.
Ami?
So one thing I hate is people call me Marie, and I won't answer because I was like, that's not my name. So when you corrected me, I was like, that's why I was like, thank you, because I can't stand to mispronounce someone's name, because I hated them to mispronounce my name. I got in trouble in school because I would refuse to answer the teacher because she would say Marie. I said, it's 5 letters. If we can't get 5 letters right.
Right.
And I wasn't getting 3 letters right. So I was happy about that. I was really glad. But listen, I just wanted to tell y'all, thank you. You all did a great job. Thank you for allowing me to take part in this journey. I learned so much. And I've made some other connections that have been really, really powerful. I am actually going to join Black in AI because because of being on here and everything. So it's just been really, really good. And the information, I love Cameron Calvin Trimble's take on things. You know, he has a from a male's perspective, he has such a good perspective, and I feel like he enlightened me on some things because I had a different take on some stuff. So I like that. I've just enjoyed the show, and I just wanted to jump on to say thank you all.
Thank
We
you. Thank you for rocking with us every day.
Thank you for being a super subscriber, and it was actually reassuring to see your name pop up every day, even if I'm not in my head. It's like, all right, somebody's watching. Because as a man of faith, I will say this: you heard this scripture a lot, or people say this, where 2 or 3 are gathered, the Spirit, and that's like. So I looked at it as like this show is, as long as there's 2 or 3 gathered, that's worth it.
And it was such a positive time. You know, I ended up fitting in a great time. It fits in a great time slot for me because I have a lot of things going on, and I would be like, no, I can work at my desk while I'm watching them, and then once they go off, then I can get to moving around. But I often tried to make sure that I was sitting right there because sometimes I got to take notes. Sometimes I'm trying to learn, or sometimes I'm just enjoying the show. But thank you all. Y'all did a great job, and can't wait for the next go round of whatever you all are doing.
Thank you
so much.
Have a good day.
All right, have a good one.
Shout out to Maria because she also inspired me to create the Breathing Bell. She did the first. She's like, I want to just gift you something. She did the first layer of it, and she sent me the app. And I was like, wow, actually, I didn't even think of doing it. Like, why didn't I think of doing that? And so when she sent it to me, I was like, bet. So I took her what she essentially started and showed me kind of like the framing for it. I took that and I ran with it and I built out the Breathing Bell. So check out thebreathingbell.com. It's thebreathingbell.com. It's a breathwork app that I designed, and I love it. I love the flow of it. I'm actually going to tweak some things today and add the next. I got to add the 15-minute yoga nidra to it and add the other 20-minute layers because people really started using it. And I was like, oh, bet. Like, yes, thank y'all. And so I got to make sure that everything is there for y'all so I can actually do all the breath work, because the more you do each session, the next layer unlocks. And so I'm going to let everybody know that the 20 minutes is up. So while I'm on this retreat, I plan to spend some time doing the next layer of the actual recordings. So I'm excited about that. Now, I don't think you were here today to Lita join. Lita, we're gonna let you come up, talk about the show, what you thought. You were moving around a bit, so I wasn't sure. Okay, there you go. Lita, you there? You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. Tell us about how the show impacted you joining, things you heard.
I really, really enjoyed the show. It's so funny that the way my schedule is, I had to put it so I can see your show. I had rearranged my schedule so I can see your show every morning because it was very interesting. Information alike. I really like the guests, especially with the youth, because that's what my business on with the youth. I'm teaching them. My pet peeve is bullying. So that is because that happened to me growing up, and it happened to my children and my grandchildren. So I decided to invest in bullying because there's so much of that going around now, especially with our adults just as well. So I really did enjoy it. I was listening to you this morning about the investment. I believe that you have to lose before you gain, because a lot of things that we don't know, we're going to waste some type of money because we don't know. But once we know, we learn how to save. And that's what I learned how to do. I learned how to save, and then that's how I invest. But one thing I do learn, to keep your money out of the banks. It's not good.
Well, that's thank you so much for joining, Lita. We're about to get ready to wrap up in 10 minutes. So, but I appreciate you for joining, sharing with us how the show impacted you, and We're rooting for you. Things you're working on a tread for success. So keep up the great work you're doing out there. Also at the polls. Thank you for volunteering at the polls. And I don't think your camera wasn't here when you were here, but Lita also works the polls and does what is it called when you have to carry the ballots? I can't remember
I'm
the name.
I'm the majority judge there.
Yeah, so she's the majority judge for what city? What city? What county? City?
I'm in Kent County in Delaware.
Okay, yeah. So we appreciate you. Keep doing the great work out there. We need you. Everybody, make sure you get out and vote for
Yes.
sure. It's going to be one of every election is impactful, but I think it's gonna these upcoming elections is gonna be super impactful. We need people out there voting. So we appreciate you. All right, Lita, have a great rest of your day.
God bless and keep doing the good work, both of you all. I enjoy
Thank
it.
you. The homie Ivadine. Okay. Hello. How you doing? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I don't know if she can hear me. Ivadine, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, there we go. Tell us about, so you're one of the first guests actually on the show. Wait, she must have a delay. Cause it, can you hear me? Uh-oh, and then she froze, I think. But yeah, she was one of the first guests on the show. Um, and so I love that because I love the first person to respond type thing. Okay, wait, okay, she's moving again. Okay, can you hear me now?
So me, yes.
Okay, so you're one of the first guests on the show. You've been watching the show, enjoying it ever since. How's the show impacted you? What did you think about it?
So yes, first guest, yes, watching, yes, it's impacted me to help my business grow. I think I'm very dark here, but to help my darker than normal, to help my business grow. I've loved hearing about the different cultural because I'm not really involved so much in culture. I see, I do, I hear, but I don't focus and study on those things. Why is my lighting horrible? But it's helped me to understand the benefits, more benefits of AI and Claude and how to grow my business and level up. So I am now going to get AI to help me market my book because I have the 1 million books into 1 million hands, hearts, minds, and homes campaign. And I've been doing it. And it's been okay, but something tells me that between Claude and AI and everything I've learned from Omi and Cameron, who I kept calling Calvin, that it's going to now elevate itself because my books are on mental health and overall health and wellness and nutrition and life, really life. I feel like the more prepared we are for life and its events, the more successful we could be. And once we realize that our minds and our mental state are connected, like very connected in the same area, that we'll be able to navigate it better and understand it better and not be afraid when you hear the word mental thinking that it means crazy. No, it just means your state of mind. Where is it? How is it? How can you improve it? How can you share your greatness with others? So I'm so grateful for you. 30 days. My birthday fell
Yes.
within the 30 days, and it was, yeah,
Happy
and it was
birthday.
great. But you all have done well. Cameron, thank you, Cameron. I love the necks.
Today,
I
today
love
is
the
your birthday?
turtlenecks. It looks really sharp.
Thank you.
March
Thank you.
19th. So it fell, the
Oh,
30
okay.
days
Well,
my
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you, thank you. It's been great. I was the first guest. It kind of had some technical issues, but I love the clips. And then you had Marcus on, and you had Olayinka on, who uh, Marcus is amazing. I don't know if you know, but he's blind, and so what he's doing and trying to do in Newark, and then every Monday on his podcast and every Friday on his podcast, he's very intelligent and very knowledgeable about shifting our thinking and letting us know what's out there for us, like the back of your social security card. That number means money, like getting repaid for the money you put into the bank, all of those things. He's incredible. And Verda Olayinka with her book. Resist Turbulent Times, How to Save Ourselves. She was the research scientist, Omi, that you had on.
Mhm.
Incredible. But everybody, the breath. Oh, I was getting compliments. Oh, your Breathing Bell app is wonderful. Congratulations. I said, no, it's not mine. I'm sharing. I
Thank
said,
you
no,
for
it belongs
spreading
to,
the word, and thank you for
no,
sharing it.
absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, in all that I've done, feedback came instantly from that Breathing Bell when I sent it out. But that means that they also needed it when I sent it out because they used it. So yes, I've been sharing it, and
Mm.
oh yeah, that's powerful, right? I know. I'm sorry. I have those powerful things. Cameron knows. Cameron knows. I have that little thing of bringing on the thing.
No,
But
we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
thank you, though. Thank you both. And I'm looking
Thank-
forward to the next segment and Black Girl Ventures. And
All right.
I'll just ask everybody before I go, if you need to book me to speak, because that's my next level, speaking to
Yes.
large audiences for a fee. That's the next thing that I'm working on, along with my
Okay.
book. Thank you, Omi. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank
Y'all done great.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being on. Thank you so much for the support and the
We
kind words and
appreciate it.
encouragement.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Have a great day.
Oh my goodness. You know what? It's the guest for me. I love
Yeah,
doing
that's what
this,
I
but
said.
Karen, we talked about this a couple of times about how like the guests really feel like it's just so fulfilling to be able to share the platform. That's how I feel. It's like it's I have the platform, I have the ability. How can I share the platform? How can I share the space? That just means a lot to me. Yeah, it's the guests every time. They really get me. Like,
It's the guest for me.
okay, when is the Digital Directors Playbook? What's happening? Where is it? When is the politics dropping? What's up, bro? What's going on?
Let's break it down. Hip Politics podcast. Finally, April 7th. April 7th, I'm doing a double drop. Congressman Andre Carson, also known as Hip Hop Congressman out of Indianapolis, and my candidate conversation series with DC mayoral candidate Kenyon McDuffie, former councilman. Those are going to be the first two. So dropped a little teaser clips. I scheduled out all the content throughout the week. I've got various clips throughout this week, but those are going to be the first ones dropping. I'm doing a double drop to start, and then it's going to go to one a week. That is April 7th.
Okay. So I have
that's Hip Politics. Now you go
sorry, you were
before I
still
go
going.
to the
Go
next
ahead.
one.
What's the next?
So Digital Directors Playbook. Digital Directors Playbook as a brand already is on social. Follow me over on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on LinkedIn and on Substack. Digital Directors Playbook. And we've got a link tree. If you just go to digitaldirectorsplaybook.com, you can go to Linktree and subscribe. Newsletter is already coming out. We learned in our first few, now we shifted it from Sunday to Tuesday morning. So it'll come out Tuesday morning. Next episode, next one will come out then. Also, it's paired with the Substack where I dive deeper into at least one issue. And the next, and what I'm doing is launching a class and training cohort. Because I legitimately have both a physical and digital playbook of how to, of all these different things, how to do. I'm not teaching you, I want to get more views. Here's a viral hook. And that's not my focus. My focus is much more content and integrated digital landscape strategy. How is your social media feeding into your phone number and your texting operation, feeding into whatever email and content capture? How are you understanding when you can and can't pay for paid media? How are you understanding the ecosystem? And how are you understanding the AI tools that are going to help you reach your goal? And there's very few people I or my team can't help given our experience. And a lot of people do have generally the same experience, but I was like, I don't want to be a teacher who's like, hey, this is what I did with my life, and here I'm going to teach 20 people the same thing. That's never was my role. And also, it's not, quite frankly, unless I get 10, 20 people, I mean, I can let this out here. You know, my average billing rate is $750 an hour. Like that's my like billing rate. So it's like I needed to do something. I'm not trying to do something that makes me spend the same amount of time for way less than I get from clients. So I was like, let me find the right mix, and I'm gonna vet them, but the right mix of either you're an organizational leader, an entrepreneur, a business owner, or you work within a company or organization at an executive level, or a thought leader. But I wanted to only do 8 people that I can manage, give actual time to, and do a 6-week sprint of like giving them a course and workbook and things, but also understanding their true need and being able to solve them and give them a roadmap and execution point. Because I found when you build with people more intentionally, more than just a one-off, even if it's just for a period of time, that relationship grows. That relationship carries over. That there's so much more they can there. And people want to, I took for granted that people knew a lot of the stuff I knew. And I want to find a way to share that in a thing that can work with it. Cause it's not my core business. I'm not selling courses. That's not my core business. I'm not an author. That's not my core business. This is enhanced and is aligned with what I do for a business as a digital engagement director.
So I love that. DigitalDirectorsPlaybook.com. You can find all those things there. Also, Mr. Cameron Calvin on Instagram. Hip Politics is also on Instagram at hip_politics. Make sure you're following. Did I say it right? What did you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Make sure you follow me at Omi Bell on Instagram. So as of right now, the next version of the 30-day show that I'm launching is going to be 3B, the 3B Society. And I'm going to be bringing in the breathing. I'm going to be bringing in practitioners of all types. On April the 8th, the first interview will be with the career and business astrologer. I will go live that morning. And so get ready, because this is not the last of the 30-day series. I just noticed on my calendar that I do have people booked. I'm also going to send out. So if you know people that do anything with body, the 3Bs, body, business, and belonging. If you know people that do anything with those areas. And for business, I'm going to be looking at more of not necessarily maybe owning businesses, but what people are doing to help other people in business. I'm going to be looking at that. So I'll be sending out a note to my Omi homies. If you know anybody in those categories, they can click the link and sign up to be a part of the 3B Society show. That'll be my next 30-day series. After the 3B Society show, it'll be the Black Girl Venture series. So more to come. We are just getting started. We are just starting to rock. This is an experiment. Now, in the 3B Society, I am going to have more experimentation there. So more the captions will be better, more collaborations with other people. Like we're going to, I'm going to really do it up for the 3B. We'll really do it up for BGV because we'll have a different budget. So for sure, we're going to get into it. All right. Thank you guys so much for the 30-day show. Joining us, watching us for all these days.
Thank you
Thank you so much, Cameron, for being here with me. You can still follow at the 30-day show. We're going to put up when the next one will happen. I'll also get flyers and things from Cameron to put up to let me know what he's doing with the politics, what he's doing with. When you put out the trailers, collab with the 30-day show, Cameron, so we can actually put it out.
And we should probably go back and maybe we can reconstitute some of this first 30-day show.
Oh yeah,
we should. There's so much content that we either didn't post or could find ways to be creative about reposting.
Oh, 1,000%. So
I got some ideas around that.
I want to have Kiara go back and we want to keep the clips going. So we may not be live every day on the 30-day show, but I want to extend some of the clips for a little bit to keep to go back. Maybe we clip it up, different things you didn't see. Maybe it's the same show, but different clips that we didn't use. And I want to figure that out too. So if you follow at the 30-day show on Instagram, we're going to try to keep some of those clips going. Follow at the Omi Show on YouTube, at Omi Bell on LinkedIn, at Omi Bell on Instagram. But this is the last of the 30-day series. Just the 30-day show has to end because at the end of the show,
the show going in.
Thank y'all so much for joining us for a full 30 days
you all.
of streaming every day. It's been real. Here we go. Oh, how can I
Read.
take us off?